Good day, everybody, and welcome to a What's Up with Ski Boots for the winter of 24-25. And I'm joined by our hard goods buyer, ski boot buyer, Ryan Dean. I know we did something similar to this last year, but we are excited because the temps are dropping overnight.
It's going to get cold. It's going to get frosty.
The resorts are all fired up. Hopefully you guys have your ski passes and are ready to start looking at some new gear. So let's talk them through what's going on in ski boots for this winter, because there's a couple new models and there's some really nice upgrades to some stuff that maybe we've seen last year, huh?
Yeah, there's a ton of new stuff. There's your tried and true 4-buckle closure boot that still works for a ton of people, but for the first time in a long time, there's a ton of new technology to talk about in ski boots. Probably the coolest is this Rossi Vision boot right here, which we're calling a mid-entry boot. So it still looks and feels like a 4-buckle boot on the upper cuff and on the lower cuff, but when you flip that orange lever forward, or a different color on the women's boots, that actually unlocks the upper cuff from the inside. That allows it to walk and open up freely, so you can just literally step into that boot.
It says right on the back, step in technology, and I remember when we saw these at the ski show last year.
You just stand up and step in.
I didn't believe it was going to be true, but you really could just drop your foot right in there.
Cool.
So you get that ease of entry that some of these other technologies offer, but you get the skiability of a good traditional
skiability. Yep, the ability to dial in the fit with the 4 buckles that everybody's used to.
Now I found this is an HV boot, so we see these letters on the boots, HV, MV, LV. What does that stand for?
So low volume, high volume, or mid volume, that's how much room there is out in that cylinder in the forefoot. So it varies a little bit brand to brand, but obviously high volume is going to be for that wider, thicker foot. So
we've got boots for every shape of foot out there. Yep. There's no reason for you guys to ski in pain, and those of you that are looking for easier ways to put on your boot. The classic in this would be what we used to call rear entry,
right?
But it's been reintroduced.
Yep, the Nordica hands-free or the Nordica HF, every flex under the sun for men or women, traditional, what you would have had 30 years ago, but this boot is loaded with all the highest of tech, best liner that they're going to have, really precise closure mechanism so you can step right into that and control the forefoot volume.
We kind of reference this as a retention boot, right? Yep. So those of you who have ankle problems or can't bend over to put your boots on,
right,
this is a great way to stay out on the slopes because you don't need to bend over when you're sliding down the hill. At least not too much anyway, right?
Correct.
So Dials made an appearance last year. I remember talking for the first time ever about BOA, which came from kind of the snowboard realm. And we had 1 or 2 models last year, but man, the wall's full of them.
We've got a lot of BOA this year, so people know BOA because they see it in other industries. We see it on the other side of our shop. You're going to see BOA covering every volume of boot, like we mentioned there with the high to low, as well as up in some of our tech boots for those that want to go uphill. Awesome closure mechanism, gives you a ton of adjustment on the forefoot, and you can adjust in or out and get a ton more infinite adjustments in between just what you could get in a traditional buckle without deforming the lower shell.
Yeah, it really provides more of a wrap than a pressure point. So I think there was some resistance last year. People were maybe concerned about durability, about functionality, based on the number of boots that we see on the wall and offered to us even.
Yeah.
I think that's gone. I think you guys should trust this and can trust this, and those of you who have purchased it must be experiencing good things because everybody's been looking for it. It's been one of our best-selling boots.
Yeah, the fit's great, and the early returns are really positive.
Got to call this sucker out because it's kind of a unique boot. We talk about it every year, but it's really a boot within a boot, right?
It is, yeah. So again, something that's easy to get into. I mean, you could literally drive to the ski hill in your ski boots and then step into your exoskeleton or the frame. These boots are from Apex, so again, something that helps you get into the boot, relieves a lot of pressures on the forefoot, and once you buckle it into the skeleton, you can ski just like any boot out there.
So you're alleviating any of the plastic pressures. Right. So a lot of people have found this to be a great comfort piece.
Yeah, teaching your kids on the bunny hill, teaching somebody where you might be out of your skis often, you can scoot around the hill really easy with this.
But it's not a beginner boot. I mean,
no.
This is a performance boot.
Yep.
It's crazy to think, but I've used this all day, and they ski amazingly well. So it's not just get you out on the hill. It's really, you can do just about anything in that. So, and then I think we're kind of circled back to what looks like a pretty conventional 4-buckle boot.
Right.
And we talked about this a little bit last year. This is the Shadow from Lang, but what sets this apart or different than maybe the traditional
So it's the way that the upper cuff is connected to the lower cuff, as opposed to the traditional bolts in the back, which then we're just deforming the boot when we're flexing it forward. This has what they call a suspension blade, so there's a fin that goes up into the upper cuff. Allows for really, really smooth transition, and then it distributes the power out over a much larger portion of the boot. So way more control, way more power, way more precision.
I used that at the test last year for both days. I would call that a game-changing boot. I love my traditional boots, but you can notice this on the hill, and for really driving a ski hard, I found that to be just like butter, but yet tons of energy.
Yeah, super smooth, tons of power.
So if you fit into that Lang Last, I would definitely come in and give that a shot. So, well, our team is ready. We are geared up. The store is looking good. We're in Bucks month, so we're all fired up for that. So you guys can check out what Bucks are and maybe stretch your buying power. But if you are in the market for new boots, come on down. Selection's great, and the team is ready for you guys. So thanks so much, Ryan.
You bet.
We'll see you guys all next week. Peace.